Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crockett Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetri K. And I am the 5-star general. I guess we're going to talk about trying to help y'all with y'all money again. And all you going to do, go to the club tomorrow night anyway and blow it. Well, let's get to it. Because it's real in the field. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. You know, without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So we really definitely appreciate you taking the time out to tune in. Mentally, I'm really in a bad place. I see that Darian Vince got 40 years for tampering with a corpse with Malia Davis. But ain't nobody been charged for a murder. The mama walking around here, think a nigga don't know what you did, huh? And I'm in a funk. I'm in a bad place. All I'm gonna say, the streets got something to say about it. Donovan, what's happening?
Oh my goodness, you guys, welcome to the Thursday money edition of the War Zone. I tell a lot of people, if you're going to watch the War Zone at any time, the best time to watch it is on Thursdays, because we're going to have Walter Couture from cornercopa.com. You know, he's going to give us the knowledge and get us to the money for those of us that want the money. But a lot of us are still brutally addicted to poverty. I graduated yesterday. I am still getting over my hangover. You know, the military, you know, my buddies got together and we did what old military men do. But in the news today, you guys, as you guys know, the insurrection on the 6th, they are trying to get to a committee to investigate what happened. So this tells you what these politicians are really about, because it's about power. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. It's about maintaining their power, because Mitch McConnell, knowing that the midterms are right around the corner, called his caucus and asked them to just do him this one personal favor, because they see it and a lot of other people see that the Democrats most likely are going to lose both the House and the Senate. And he said, just do us this one favor and, you know, we'll get over it. But isn't that something that when it comes to overthrowing the government and being traitors and all that, white supremacy has no problem with it as long as they're the ones doing it. Anybody else would be hanging by a rope or shot right there in the street. No trial, no justice. Demetri, what you got?
Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. I know that I am. And I want to say once again, congratulations to Donovan, the Rhodes Scholar who's got all these damn degrees. And are you done? You done? Okay. 12
degrees is enough. I think the taxpayer, you guys are getting tired of paying for my free education.
We are. Okay. So anyway, yeah, Gary, I did see that too in the news not too long ago that Malia Davis's, and you know the crazy part is they got him for what, harming a child or something like that, and something of a corpse, but they didn't charge him with murder.
Tampering with a corpse.
Tampering with a corpse, but they didn't charge him with murder, so they gave him 40 years. So he got 40 years for not having to admit that he actually did something to it, right? So yeah, I think that's total BS, and I also think it's total BS that the mama is just like, well, you know, I don't, you know, so anyway, sad situation. So yeah, we're here with Walter. And Walter, what are we talking about tonight? Oh, if you guys can do us a favor and share this live so everybody's get the information and join in on the conversation, we would greatly appreciate it. So what are we talking about, Walter?
What do we always talk about? You know what? I said yesterday we talked about Black Wall Street. I want to talk a little bit more about that, and I want to talk about a specific plan. I think I've been on the show long enough, and there are enough people that listen to this where I can kind of get into some specifics about building wealth. You guys okay with that? All right. What's in the straw? You got margarita laying out there. Like, share it. So, all right. So you got some Kahlua in there. That's cool. I didn't know it was that color. So, first things first, before I get into the lesson plan, and I actually have some notes, so I'm going to go into a strategy that I used to set up my own retirement. So, something that we can all do, something me and my sister talked about. But before I get into that, I'm going to talk about Black Wall Street a little bit. Yesterday, we talked about it. And Gary, I think you're in Tulsa right now, right? Or you're on your way? Look like you're in a hotel room.
I'm in Tulsa.
How is it out there? How are the people?
They regular. They just smoke weed and don't do shit with themselves.
And Tulsa too, huh? The Black Wall Street land. Didn't they rebuild Greenwood Avenue?
Greenville Avenue has been rebuilt, but it ain't what it was.
Okay. Even after the Gap Band named their band after it, huh? I just found that out. I didn't realize the Gap Band was named after Black Wall Street.
No, that's not true. They named after the three streets that they grew up around: Greenwood, Archer, and Pine.
Oh, I thought that's not Black Wall Street?
Mm-mm.
Oklahoma? Oh, okay. All right.
Greenwood is Black Wall Street. So it's actually the Greenwood area, a neighborhood or town, I guess, in or around Tulsa, and they named it Black Wall Street. So, yeah.
Okay.
So it's actually not Greenwood. It's Gatlin or something like that.
Okay. So, you guys, there's a really good book that you need to read, or you can do the Amazon, what is it? I talk about it all the time. It's the Color of Money by Mersha Beraden. Phenomenal book. Like, if you haven't read it, please read the book. I think our relationship will get a lot better after you read that book, right? Because right now we're in this political storm, and Black people are complaining about not getting anything. And I think the one thing we miss is understanding our history and knowing that we're not going to get shit until we take it ourselves. Period. Right? That is a phenomenal book. I'm telling you guys, I read that book and it changed. It changed my vision. And I understand, like, the system, like, I hear systematic racism, but until you know how it works, oh shit. Like, what they did to the Black banks, and like, it's insane when you see what happens. So between the government, Jim Crow, Clinton, Nixon, Reagan, everybody was in on it. And then when you look at that, and then you look at the Black banks, how they were trying to loan to people on the word of God and just to be faithful to the people. Between those two things, they didn't have a chance. So what we can do right now is we can take some steps. So I'm going to go down the list, and tonight I'd like to have participation from all you guys, so we can you can piggyback off these subjects. The one thing I always talk about, if you want to retire in 12 to 24 months, is to fix your credit. Not repair it, like say yes, shit ain't yours. Repair and build, right? So I'm gonna give you some steps, right? I know my ladies are taking notes. Somebody said I hit the casino. I hope you make some money. So first thing is you need to go to, and right now I'm just saying these guys until I find a better company. I use Experian.com. I check my credit every single day. What I did is I go through every day, look at my credit report, and then I look at all my credit cards and make sure that they're paid off. The one thing you can do to build your credit the fastest is make sure you have 1, 2, 3 installment loans, and then you have 1, 2, 3 revolving lines, and then an installment line. Like some of you guys have car payments. I'm not a big fan of those, but you can put your rent on your credit report. It's esusu.com, ESUSU. Even if I shouldn't even say this. You paying rent to your cousin, they will email your cousin and say, are they paying rent and have they paid for the last 2 years? They will, for $49, put that rental history for the last 2 years on your credit report, which is huge. 1, 2, there's a bank, it's called Self Bank. Basically what you do is you can pay yourself. So, and I did it myself. So everything I'm telling you to do, I did. I went through Self, SCLF, and I signed up and I agreed to pay myself $150 a month. I can't hear you, D. So I agreed to pay myself $150 a month. And so what happens is now when you look at my credit report, I have this balance due, but I'm paying myself. So it's an installment loan to myself. And so those two things gave me 2 installment loans because I don't have car payments and things like that. So I have Isuzu, and then I did self, and it shows up on your credit report as lead bank. So you have 2 things. Then as far as credit, what I tell people to do is go to everybody you know. I don't care what they say. Ask them, can you put me on your credit, on your accounts that are low balance and that have great history? Put me on those so I can adapt. You guys, I've seen credit scores jump 100 points in months just from doing this. You guys going from a 620 to a 720 is you walk into a car dealership. Well, don't do a car dealership. You walk into a land deal and go, oh, my credit score is 720. Or Capital One, I got a 720. They go, here's the money. It's a huge deal. Being a 620 from even a 700 or 680 is huge, especially when you're doing real estate. So some of the things you can do that, you can do secured credit cards. Capital One, Citibank, those are 2 secured credit cards. I think you can start with $100, $100, $200. Like some of you guys could have taken your stimulus and opened up a credit card with Capital One, Citibank, First Premier. That's a shitty credit card, but you can use them to build your credit.
Before we really get off into that, because I see like the mood is a little bit somber, and rightfully so. And as you were, talking about some financial stuff, something came to my mind in regards to, the Malia Davis situation. Now, I don't know what her mom's situation was, or woman's situation, really, to stay with a man that's abusive. And I'm just using it, a man and a woman in this situation, not saying it doesn't go the other way around. But, women stay in abusive relationships for a whole lot of reasons. And, abusive relationships in regards to themselves, and abusive in regards to their children being abused. But one thing I know for sure is if a lot of women were financially better off, then they can make better decisions. Because I used to have this conversation when I sold life insurance, especially to men that would say, I don't want to get life insurance because if I die, I don't want to leave her rich. And I would say, do you know the difference between you leaving her with some money and not leaving her with some money is the dude that she'll move in once you're dead? And that dude might beat her ass and those kids' asses because she had to get with a man because she didn't have any money, because you didn't want to leave her rich. And so the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, as I said, a lot of women get with men, and men that mean them no good because of money. And so I impress upon anybody out there, listen, just take notes, because the objective here for Walter giving us the game is for us to do better. As he said a minute ago, that he could show us how to retire in 24, was it the 48 months or probably less than that? And so I'm just saying, I'm speaking from a woman, and a lot of times we get in bad relationships because of money, or we don't leave because we don't have the money to do so.
I got an idea. Let me get up and do the shuffle real quick. Well, we can raise our views. Hey, you guys, I tell people this. My time giving out free advice is limited. I'm telling you, as soon as I get to retirement, my phone's all shit gonna be off. They're gonna be like, where'd he go? Where? I'm serious, you guys. I mean, helping people with their money is the most stressful thing in the world. And for whatever reason, like, I don't even know why I said I wasn't gonna get frustrated, but like, Lord have mercy. What can we do to make this fun? I mean, is not having money fun to people? I don't understand. Man, I don't understand. And I've been broke. I hated that shit. And so now I get excited about making moves. Man, there's money all over the place. I'm telling you guys, there's so much fucking money on this planet. It's everywhere. Everywhere you go. We just need to turn off the I said I was gonna stop cussing. Turn off the TVs. unless you're gonna be watching Bloomberg. You see, I got it over there, man. That TV stay on Bloomberg. I think if I turned it off, there'd be Bloomberg etched into the screen. Having money, it just makes more sense. So we, as Black people, I know that we are, we're crafty. We have this positive energy that we can use. We can use it to make money. Like, I'll give you an idea. I was taking a walk, right? So I'm walking. I see this beautiful Black woman. She's like 20 years old. So she's out of my range by a couple years, right? And I'm in a relationship, so I don't want to get cut. But I see her. And I go, you know what? It's nice to see beautiful Black women smile. And we talked for like 30 minutes. And she was like, you know what? I'm 20. I'm trying to get my stuff together. I'm studying personal development and higher laws, and I don't know what to do. So we talked for 30 minutes. I gave this girl 3 or 4 things she could do to make money. While we were just sitting there talking, I go, you're motivating me to want to jog around this community some more. Why don't you start a little membership for $20 a month and have all these women watch you work out and you tell them how to eat? Because she was fine too. I mean, it was all good, Donovan. Trust me, make you leave Thailand women alone. If you saw this sister, she was fine. Anyways, and so I was giving her all these ideas, and I was telling her, because she goes, "Oh yeah, you have all the cars, the Range Rovers, and all the cars." I said, "Yeah, you don't never see the same one twice." And so I was telling her, like, you can come over and help me with these. You want to help me sell these cars? It's $1,000, $2,000 a pop. It ain't a lot of money, but it's $1,000, it's $2,000 in a week. Depending on your hustle game. I was just giving her all these things. I was like, there's money all over the place. We just have to stop and pick it up. So some of you guys have all these little things that you do, these little side hustles. Just put more energy into them. A side hustle doesn't mean it has to be way on the side. Honestly, you guys, your side hustle should be up front. We need to stop calling it a side hustle, right? Because your job, I promise you, they are looking for ways to cut you loose. Like, I go to Chase Bank, and there's one teller in this Chase Bank. And it's all these robot machines. You go up there, you can get 4,000 out, and one teller. And I said to one of them, you don't see the robots coming? They're getting a little closer. That's don't worry you? Like, you go to Walmart in my neighborhood, it's all machines and like a couple people.
Yeah. Hey, Walter, real quick, just keep that thought. Did you hear, I think it was yesterday, where they were talking to the bank CEOs, and because of the pandemic, the bank CEOs were allowed to not pay any like late fees on their banking situation with the feds. And I guess Elizabeth Warren asked them, did they do that in regards to their customers, which they did not. So I guess Chase and a couple of them made like, I think it was $3 billion, or it was a couple billion in late fees and things when people did not have the money at no fault of their own to change those fees. So I'm not chastising anybody in the chat or anything, but what I'm saying is money is what makes the world go round, and they find any way they can to take it from those of us who don't have very much of it.
Okay, hold up. Change. First of all, I'm gonna step on some toes, and I'm sorry. You didn't bring me on the show to be a punk bitch with the money. If you have late fees, it is your fault.
Right.
I don't care what it is. Somewhere there's a one-legged man kicking ass. If you have late fees at the bank, it is your fault. And if it's not, they will undo them.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Okay.
We have to, and Donovan, you're right. When you say no fault of their own, things happen to people. Yeah. They do. But if you have one job, that's your dumb ass.
Right.
Because if you get laid off and you know they're coming for you. Mm-hmm. Oh, I lost my job. How many do you have left? How many things do you do?
Right.
Maybe go back and live in color on you. I don't understand how like someone says, oh, my dog got sick. F that dog. Let him out the gate. Send him to China. Chop suey.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is. Chop Bobo. Man, some of y'all too poor to have a dog.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
Man,
I agree.
It is your fault. These banks are playing by the rules. Culture capital is on the horizon. I'm gonna tax their ass. I wish you would be late. Those are the rules. If you are late on your rent, you pay a late fee. Your credit card, your cell phone, your water bill, they will charge you a late fee.
Yeah.
I'm not here taking up for the banks. There's some crooks. There's some old rich crooks. And I'm trying to be one of them, not the crook part.
Right.
I love the banking game. You mean your dumb ass gonna give me $20,000 that is sitting in my bank at 0%, and I'm gonna loan it to your cousin at 15, and I'm gonna do it 10 times?
Yeah.
You the dummy, because you know the rules. We all know fractional lending and how banks work. We know that they loan the money out.
Right.
And these rich dudes, and you see them, they're sitting up there. Jamie Dimon is worth $2 billion from Chase. They're writing the rules. And Elizabeth Warren, as much shit as she talks, she one of them too.
Yeah.
Please.
Yep.
How much money does she make? And what does she do for a living? Like, seriously.
Well, if you
why does she make $200,000-$300,000 plus company car, food, housing, free? Do you think she pays for shit when she goes to a restaurant?
Yeah, well,
pays for healthcare?
Well, you think about it, everybody in Congress engages in insider trading. Every one of them. Every one of them.
I'm trying to do that.
Yes.
Man, listen, me and Martha Stewart will be me, her, and Snoop. Man, I'm serious. I want the inside information. Maybe I don't want to go about the way she did it, but like, you guys, information is everywhere. I'm telling you, anyone can retire in 12 to 24 months. Anyone watching this thing. But you can't wait 12 to 24 months to do it. That is, damn, I'm turning to my Muslim voice. Like, we need to just pull the trigger. Like, I tell people how to build their credit, right? I see Anita on here. What's up, girl? I'm like, I tell people, let me see your credit report. Boom. Half the people send it to me. Half the people don't. I say, I don't give a damn how effed up your credit report is. Send it to me. I don't care. My sister will tell you my credit was lower than my body weight at one point. So I understand having jacked up credit, but I had to get help. I took one of my boys, and years ago I gave him my credit report. He went, "Oh shit!" I said, "Man, don't do me like that. Just help me build it." So I rebuilt my credit, and he gave me some tips. And so what I'm telling you, I tell people, send me your credit report after you join the membership. I don't like to work for free, and let's arrange it. Because some of you guys have all your credit cards maxed out, and I'm gonna give you a scenario I just did with somebody without giving you her name. Is a lot of you have credit cards that are maxed out. So let's say your score is 660. I have a lot of people go out and borrow money from Rick Ross, Betty Ross, Uncle Jim and them, whoever it is. I even told one client to go take out a shitty loan, like Wilshire Capital loan me. Some of these guys will loan anybody money. Venmo, some of these cats, but they're crappy loans. But like if you have $10,000 in credit card debt and all your credit cards are maxed out and your score is 660, and you take out one of those shitty installment loans and pay off all the credit cards, bring your balances down, your credit score shoots up. Then you go out and get that 0% money, that low interest money, and then you pay off the shitty loan and ta-da. See what I'm saying? That's how you do it. You refinance. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I told somebody today, man, look around your house. What can you sell? I'm looking right now. I'm looking that bike. My girlfriend bought that bike. We've ridden that bike twice. It's going on Craigslist. That's easy, $200. That's 200 options in JP Morgan Chase. So you guys complain about the banks. Let's buy the banks. I know, D, you bought JP Morgan, right? Or one of those. I mean, like, I know I see some people on here, they bought JP Morgan when I told them to. You're not going to beat the banks. You think a bunch of rich old white dudes that have been getting their way. And by the way, you're talking about Chase Manhattan Bank that financed the slave trade. Come on, you guys. Like, seriously. Chase is not going to apologize for financing the slave trade. But I'm getting money from my ancestors.
I used to be a personal banker for Chase.
Joe did. That was like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I know the game. I know how they get down, and I can tell you how to beat them too.
Yeah. So another thing. So do those things I told you earlier to build your credit. Get three revolving lines. You can do secured. City, Capital One, and you can do First Premier or Orchard Bank. Self and Isuzu. 2 installment loans with Self and Isuzu, and the other 3 secured. You can start with $200. You got a $1,400 stimulus check. There's 3 lines of credit at $200 each, plus the installment loans. Your credit score will go boom. See what I'm saying? I don't know what that was, some dance, but like, and then like I am on my sister's credit card. I'm on one of her credit cards. I hope she on time every month.
Zero balance, baby.
Zero balance. You know, I know because it shows up on my credit report. And my score went poop when she put me on there. I'm on my son's cards. He's on my cards. I got my son, Evan. He's 18. He has a 740 FICO score at 18 years old. We put him on our shit when he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that. So those are things anybody could do. I don't care how bad your credit is. And what you do, you guys, sell everything you can get your hands on. You owe somebody $2,000 with the collection. Be like, yo, I'll give you $600, and I'm gonna split it up. Because what happens is when you pay them, it stops the activity on your report. Now, if you pay an old collection and it's been on there 3 years dormant, it is going to start new activity. But here's what's happening now, where before an old collection would not have activity on your score and people would ignore it. Now banks are going back and say, oh no, you have that $200 collection from 6 years ago. We need that paid, homeboy. Or you're not getting this $500,000 loan. Because why would we loan $500,000 to a cat that can't even pay $200 on an old debt? I'm telling you guys, the rules are changing. And I heard Joe Biden is fixing the credit reports. Joe Biden is coming for you. Ain't doing shit for black people. Anything Joe Biden do is to F the black people. I promise you. Look at the inflation. Look at this. For those of you that are trying to buy real estate, right now I own land, and material like lumber is through the roof, gas is through the roof, steel is through the roof, food, avocados, everything is through the roof. You can't buy a new car right now for the price you bought last year because they don't have semiconductors. Like, have you noticed this? That the whole world is going to war? Everybody's fighting each other right now. Middle East, Russia's getting it cracking, Israel's getting it cracking. Like, what? Hey, Trump was a dick, piece of shit, dick wad. But they was afraid to fight with that dude because he had no brains. He would drop a bomb in a minute. I ain't saying we need him back, but damn, you guys stop bowing down to Biden and you be your own president. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, stop buying your kids ice cream from the ice cream truck. Y'all see that Facebook post I put up? I'm with my boys, right? Once a month or so, me and my boys get together, smoke cigars, we cook steaks, and we drink cognac and just talk about the shit we should be dead for as kids. And my boy goes, do you know the ice cream man is nigga want a watermelon? And I YouTube that shit.
It is. A lot of people don't know that.
The ding,
yes.
Nigga want a watermelon. The song came out in like 1906. It was a hit record.
And there's another one too that's racist. I can't think.
The Catch a Nigga by His Toe.
That one.
Look, man, listen, black people, wake up. So here's what I'm telling you guys. Build your credit. That is the most important thing of anything you'll hear me say. Save money, yeah, do that. But like when you have a 750 FICO score, you don't have to have any money in the deal. You walk into a car dealership, which you know how I feel about car payments, but they go, oh, here you go. You get tier 1 rates. You go to buy real estate, they go, oh, 750, 720, which house you want? You understand what I'm saying? You want 0% credit cards? We got them. With good credit, you can go take out a bunch of credit cards, get $50,000 in credit cards, take that $50,000, buy a piece of property, put a tent on it and rent it out and have the income from the tent, pay the credit cards, and you own a piece of land, no money out of pocket.
Walter, real quick, did you hear today that the Riverside is going to sell a piece of that orange orchid down the Riverside? You know, where they had the big orange orchid place, and they're going to make a parking garage.
Oh,
But think about the money and the revenue that is just made just because you have land so people can park their cars so they can go to work.
Seriously. Here's the other thing, you guys. The reason I tell you guys to read the book, The Color of Money, and she also has a Bloomberg. It's 14 minutes. It's The Wealth Gap. It is Mercer Baradon, and it's you guys. It's Bloomberg Television. This is Michael Bloomberg, who I thought would have made a better president. By the way, that's a whole nother subject, right? Y'all got stuck on his grabbing booty and he hugged somebody too tight, and yeah, he was a dick for the whole racial profiling, but they all did that. Joe Biden wrote the crime bill, for God's sake. Anyways, Bloomberg Television, I saw it there. Not on BET, not on the Atlanta Housewives channel. I saw the shit on Bloomberg, on what some of you would call Peckerwood TV. That's where I learned about the wealth gap and the 270 million acres that was given away during the Homestead Act to non-black people. 270 million acres given away to people. And they know that real estate, they'll never catch up. Nigga want a watermelon, but he'll never catch up because he don't own no land. Like 40 acres in a mule, you can get your 40 acres, but they're not gonna give them to you. Just buy land. Me and my sister talked about, we're buying land. We're going to Alabama in a few weeks. Like, this property's for sale, there's water, we'll take it. Period. We'll take that one too. And if your land don't have water on it, you realize you can dig a lake. Out my desert property, we're digging a lake and creating our own lake. We're putting fish, everything in it. Yeah. People want water.
Yeah, a lot of people are, because we're so we're so cityfied, when we live in the city. A lot of people don't know that there's water underneath the ground and aquifers and stuff like that. So
there's an ocean under the earth. Period. It is what it is, right? Where do you think they get the water from? Your water company. I mean, the water, they're getting it from the sky, they're getting it from the ground, right? So now I just told you how to build your credit, buy a piece of land. You guys, if you go to YouTube, these A-frames, they have people making $10,000 a month from an A-frame.
I wouldn't mind having me one of those. I swear, those are so nice.
I mean, you guys, listen to me for a second. This is the shit. Get a piece of, like, for instance, I got a few people on this show and a few of my friends. We're talking about buying land together. Conversation me and my sister had. We all pitch in and buy a piece of property, which means we're going to have to get along with somebody's going to have to take the lead. Period. No nigga shit. And we buy this land and we pitch in and we put something on it that we can rent out. A piece of real estate that's $50,000, right? Let's say we paid it off over 10 years. That's $5,000 a year. That's $400 a month plus interest. So let's say we're going to be paying $600 a month. Let's say we were paying $1,000 a month for this land. What if we put something on it that was paying us $4,000 a month? Wouldn't it make sense? Like you guys down there in Texas, man, people are going down to Austin, they're paying $300 to stay in a tiny house on somebody's land. Like 2 tiny houses, they said they were only paying you $100 a night. Times 20 nights is $4,000. The land is only $1,000. Plus whatever couple $100 you pay in a month because you got good credit and you finance these tiny homes, you can buy them on Amazon. Like literally you can buy a house on Amazon, a tiny house on Amazon. They'll send it to you. Put a jacuzzi out there, whatever you got to do. They have these, I love jacuzzis, right? They have these jacuzzis that are now off grid. You put firewood in them and it warms the jacuzzi up. No gas needed, no electricity needed. All you need is water. And you got a hot tub anywhere in the world, as long as you got firewood. Man, white people are, man, I'm telling you, they trying to get the F out of the city.
Yeah, they even have the solar ones too, where the solar keeps your thing powered.
Man, they got a little solar thing for $1,000 that will charge us in an hour and you can power your cell phone, your laptop and stuff all day. And it's this big. And you can take it with you and power your stuff. Like, man, I'm telling you guys, if you are struggling this time next year and you're watching this episode, you dumb as hell. That is your fault. And ain't nothing else to it. So listen, here's what I'm going to ask you guys to do tonight. I want you to go talk to your friends. First of all, if you owe money on your credit cards and you have high interest loans, go to people and tell them you're trying to build your shit. I need you to cut me a check. I'm paying 30% on the credit card. I'm trying to pay it off so I can pay 5 or 6. And I'll even give you a little bit of money for the deal. You see what I'm saying? You could do that, right? You guys, your credit score will jump. So you guys, and I didn't really understand this until recently. I've been trying to save money and flip things. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it like Jamie Dimon. I'm gonna get my credit rock hard solid, right? And then I'm gonna use it to build, to borrow. And that's what I'm doing. I'm borrowing every dollar I can, period. And if my interest rate's 10%, but I'm making 50% on the deal, who cares? You know what I'm saying? If I take out a 20%, and I'm talking about using these to buy things. If I pay 20% interest and I buy this glass of wine for $1, but I sell it for $4, that is what, 300-400% on my money. I'm only paying 20% a year. I can sell this for $4 when I paid $1 and make 300-400% every week. Do you see what I'm saying? You pay 20% for the whole year, but make 300-400% once a week. That's thousands and tens of thousands of percent a year. That's how money really works. And to answer your question, somebody asked me about the loan. I use when you go to buy land, you can finance it through a bank. It is tougher, and they want like 40% down. So that's why I say we can pitch in and we can buy land, or you can find a landowner that has been sitting on the land and say, hey, I want to take your land over. I'll make payments. You ain't doing nothing anyways. I'll make payments to you. And here's how I'm going to pay for it. Here's my business plan. I want to take your land, make payments on it, and you can now start getting an interest rate from something that's paying you nothing. Black people, we have a lot of land sitting out there. Mississippi, Louisiana, and we ain't doing nothing with it. When I try and talk to you guys about doing something with it, well, I talk to the Lord. My husband, his grandpa left it to us, and it's sentimental. How sentimental is being broke as hell? You 68 years old, and you still struggling financially. What in the hell? What is in your wallet?
Well, let me ask you this, Walter, because that brings up a good point. A lot of, our parents' age people, they're always talking about, what we ain't doing right and this, that. We need to sit and wait and all this other stuff, and I call it generational warfare. But I usually shut them down because how can you tell me anything if you have nothing to show me? So if there's no generational business that you have to give to me, if you have no generational wealth you have to, to give to me, that's to me a big problem in our community. There's no wealth being passed down to the next generation, but yet these are the people telling us, oh, don't take out loans, don't do this, don't do that. What is your take in the aspect and the people that you deal with?
Give me the question in a simpler form.
Okay, a simpler form is like, as a financial advisor, what is the demographics or the age of the people that you deal with in regards to talking about wealth? Do you talk to like people that are our parents' age more so than you do people our age and younger?
My best clients are women 40 and above. That's my client base. That's who I talk to. I'd rather talk to a woman that's 48 than a woman that's 28. Because I don't got 20 years for her to get her shit together, her mentals, and get all her shit together. I ain't got that kind of time. And neither does Wall Street, and neither do the banks, neither does more. They don't want to deal with you guys. I'm telling you, man, they are looking for ways to cut you loose. And you millennials, shut the hell up with your complaining. My God, what is up with you guys? You can't do shit on your own. I don't know. Go. Anyways, let me keep it moving. So, Ricky.
Let me defend my fellow millennials.
All right.
What did you say? No, for real. Now I get it. Millennials. I might, but I do believe they have it a lot harder.
How?
Well, because for one, a lot of them went to school, under the premise that they would get a good job, and obviously we know that's not the case. A lot of them have amassed a lot of student loan debt that they'll probably never pay off. And, I was talking to my daughter, who's very insightful. Because you guys remember when we was talking about the abortion, I think it was on my show, we were talking about Texas doing their abortion law to where you can't have an abortion after 6 weeks. And I was like, I can't really put my finger on it. And so she was saying that it's not that they don't want people to have babies just because, but if people stop having babies, then they stop having a working class. Does that make sense? So, and I was like, okay, a light bulb came on. I said, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And so millennials, they can't really afford to have kids, and so a lot of them just aren't anymore, the responsible ones. And so while there's some things they can do, I think we need to understand they do have a lot stacked against them.
That ain't doing shit for them, though. I mean, here's this. You can make money, you can make excuses, but you can't make both. Period. These kids, man, they better do something quick because the robots are coming. That's for sure. You think they got it bad now, wait until tonight. I mean, like, damn. You got it. Man, use any excuse you want. It's still happening to you. That's all there is to it. And the problem with black people is we don't get excited enough about having, like, you don't need a lot of money. I just told you, build your credit, and you can borrow money and flip it. That's what banking is. You realize, you guys, banks, people walk into a bank, give them money, and they then turn around and loan it out 40 times at 40 million%. Right? Somebody asks, how many acres do I have? I have 6. I'm 34 away from the promise that Abraham Lincoln made. I'm 34 acres away from my 40. Best believe I'm getting it. And so should you. Right? Ricky, you got 29 grand. The only market you should be putting that in is your market. Right? Your store, your car lot, your business, financial business, real estate business. Money markets pay you 0%, and they turn around and loan it back to your cousin at 29 on credit card. You loan it to them directly. Period. I would rather say, okay, you want to buy a car, homeboy? I'll give you the loan at 15%. Give me the pink slip. I'll put a low jack on it. And I'll take 15%, and then I'll go to the bank and borrow the money at little to nothing. You see what I'm saying? Did
we address Carveezy? I hope I said that right. How you doing? Why erase humanity with robots? Did anybody address that?
What did you say, White Wolf?
Why erase humanity with robots?
Why does the sun shine? Why does the moon spin? Hell, I don't know, but it's being done.
Well, I mean, how much do you have to pay robots in labor? After, of course, it's expensive to build them, but what do you pay them in labor?
Well,
robots. How many of them calling off because they don't have a babysitter?
Right.
I don't know. Y'all need to get Gary up. He over there knocked out.
No, he's up. No.
Wake up, Gary. Man.
Yeah, for all you guys that are worried about, robots, they're already here. It costs Walmart $25,000 each to put in those self-checkout machines, right? Now, a lot of us, myself, well, I don't really go because I'm retired. I'm not in a rush to go anywhere. But a lot of us go and we check ourselves out, daily. Now, think about the money that Walmart is saving up front. As people get used to doing that, we're basically working our way out of a job. So again, that thing will be there. It just takes your money. You put your money in it. I mean, it's almost better than a casino because then they don't have to worry about unions. They don't have to worry about anything. It's open 365, so on, so forth. And if you're only a good example, like the Trump, the Trump company, whatever you call it, people for some reason think that this is a massive Amazon type company. The Trump properties and stuff is a mom and pop store. There's only maybe 18 people that actually work for the Trump empire.
That run it, right.
Yeah.
I get it. Mm-hmm. Well, the robots have nothing to do with us. You guys, like, seriously. And you know why the robots are coming? Because too many people don't invest and don't save. And so we deal with it. It's the same reason that we have these shitty politicians and we don't do nothing about it. You can't even deal. We can't even get a decent congressman or woman, a council member in office. How you gonna stop the robots that billionaires are building? I mean, come on now, seriously. I don't like when I go to the grocery store, I look for a human. When I go to Walmart, I look for the human target. I say, you know what? I'm coming to you because I'm trying to stop the humans. I like dealing with people. I love the emotions and all the stuff that comes with it. You know what? I don't like self-checkout. And I don't like dealing with AI. I like to get on the phone. I don't like chatting with customer service. I like a human being. We all need to do that. You don't want to deal with the robots? Then don't. You go to the grocery store, you go to self-checkout, you add into the problem. right? But robots are not our problem tonight, right? It ain't robots. It's us, period. So until we get, like, you guys, I just gave you the game of how to retire in 12 to 24 months. I'm looking for comments on that shit. Somebody tells me, yo, man, you can retire in 12 months. I'm like, when do we start? Like, seriously, do you guys like work?
You know what, though? That's a good question, because I think a lot of people are just used to it, you know? And I think we'd also should say that somebody's got to do the job, right? Somebody gonna have to work. Everybody can't be a business owner, but, you know, some people really haven't even thought about, well, maybe I'll start my own business, right? Some people just really haven't, because they just work, right? They've been used to working for someone else, so.
You understand, people used to have, everyone had their own business back in the days. The industrializing of the nation and people getting comfortable with somebody else doing something, that's how that started. Do you realize by us having our own businesses, me having my own clothing line and consulting firm, you having yours, and we all do what we do, we are redistributing the wealth. Every time I sell one of my clothes, my shirts from my clothing line, Verbal Herb, I am not taking away from Jeff Bezos, but I'm redistributing the wealth. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how it works. You know, like my daughter-in-law, Tay, made this cornucopia cup for me. But so that's a cup that I could have got from one of these big companies, or Walmart, or went in there, hey, can you, at Michael's, can you put my name on my cup? I'll be back in the morning at 8. No, I had my daughter-in-law do it. That's how we redistribute wealth. There's none of this Elizabeth Warren madness. Like, she's a phony fake. They all are. Come on, man. Like, AOC, shit your ass down. Like, how does New York feel now that Amazon's not there? All those jobs that those people needed. Man, those people in New York are getting crushed financially. And you're going to blow out Amazon because they don't pay tax? So what they do, move, and they still ain't paying tax. But y'all ain't got the jobs. What's up, G?
I hear you talking, and on June 13th, I'm gonna be in a community, and I want to see if you're available to come and talk to these people, because I'm hearing you, but I'm gonna say what some of them ain't gonna never say. You got some people out there that can't buy a loaf of bread, let alone buy a piece of land. You got some people that just can't put it together. I mean, what are they to do?
Well,
they want to come up. What are they to do?
Okay, so here's what you do. Let's assume that you have nothing. All you have is your breath and your mind. And I did this a few weeks ago. I call it back to life. If I had nothing, and I'm sitting here listening to the show, I'm telling you that I would go out. There's a gas station across the street from my house, and I would go start squeegeeing windows. Can you get $2 for a white shirt from the Goodwill? Can you get a T-shirt from your neighbor? Hey, man, can I borrow a collared shirt from you, my man? I'll give me 2 days. I'll pay you for it. And you go across the street to the gas station, and you hit those windows, and you tell the gas station owner, I'm going to split this money with you. Every time somebody pay me, I'm going to pay you. And in 2 weeks, you'll have $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And then you take that $3,000 and you give some money to Capital One, First Premier, Citibank, Isuzu, and and all these people, and boom, you got it. That's all you got to do. 2-3 weeks, you can be on your feet. The problem is people like being off their feet. They like a sad story. I'm telling you, there's nobody that's that broke where they can't get going. Now, it ain't gonna be right away, maybe, but like you guys, there are people I see on off ramps with signs and people slowing down and giving them money. I'm not saying that's what you need to do.
Well, I mean, and I get that. And I'm being honest with you. I get it. I was in the suburbs. I really didn't think that it was that bad. I thought people just could just move and make some things happen, until I went back to the hood and I got out that house and I went back. You know, the most disheartening thing is some days right after surgery, I have to fly. So when I have to fly, I need wheelchair assistance when I'm going through the airport. They pay these people $7.25 an hour to push my fat ass around. $7.25 an hour. And one day they pissed me off so bad that the girl was coming up with the wheelchair. And today, it was just her lucky day. Normally I tip $5, $10. And the lady was handling her bad. I said, ma'am, you can stop for a second. She worked for Gary Monroe today. Woman looked at me. Baby, we're going to start you off with a $100 tip. Fuck her. We're going to start you out with a $100 tip. Fuck her. Some of these people are trying to figure out how can they save money when they're only making $7.25 an hour.
Well,
because realistically, if they making $7.25 an hour, they don't have enough money to do hardly shit with. I've seen it done where instead of trying to save money, they got to cut their rent into 2 payments just to live in the apartment complex they live in.
Well, then maybe they should get a roommate. I mean, I'm the facts dude. The emotions and all that shit I don't do when it comes to money. I can't. So if you make $7.25 an hour with 8 hours, what are you doing with the other 16? I mean, that's how world leaders deal with it. I mean, they're okay. So minimum wage may go up one day. That's not the issue. You can pay these people $17 an hour. It's not the issue. It's behavior. I'm telling you, there's guys that make $100,000 a year.
I'm just asking the questions that they asking. We talking about $7.25 an hour, and you getting 40 hours a week, and then they taxing you 35% of what the fuck you make.
Well, then
how they gonna make it? They barely making it.
They can work 80 hours a week, and then they can save the other 40.
Let me jump in here, and now I'm probably gonna sound like an asshole. And trust me, I'm not coming from an elitist point of view. And Gary, I know you playing devil's advocate. I'm not coming from an elitist point of view, but listen, it wasn't that long ago when I had nothing. I didn't even have a car, okay? I got out of a bad marriage, and when I say nothing, I had nothing. Now, mind you, I had a bachelor's working on my master's, and I called my friend who has a house cleaning business and said, I need to work. I'm not too proud to scrub toilets and tubs and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I did. I did that for a while until I got my confidence up and my belief system about who I was. And in fact, it wasn't that long after that, because I don't like to lie to y'all. I was working at Amazon for like a month, and I walked off of that mug. And Donovan to tell you, I walked off. I said, you know what? You better get out there and make it do what it do. So the point that I'm making is I had nothing. And I did what I had to do, whatever that was, clean houses, whatever I needed to do to get to where I am now. It wasn't easy, but then, so I hear people say, I'm only making $7.25, but you got your nails done. You got your hair did. Your kids got the latest Jordans, and you got the latest this, that, and the other. You carrying around a $200, $300, $400, $500 purse with a food stamp card in it, and you talk about what I'm supposed to do. Gary, that video where that young man was killed, that veteran, they had on hair bonnets and weaves and stuff, and they was living in an environment most people wouldn't live in, but they still had money to do discretionary things. And so I'm saying that to say is a lot of times we do make excuses. And my father always says, especially we as Black people, we buy what we want and beg for what we need. And so if you cannot pay your rent and you taking your sorry ass, now I know some people, they just don't have it. But for the most part, you taking your ass up to the leasing office with a weave on and Jordans and all the latest click-clacking nails talking about I can't pay my rent, then that's on you.
Well, I can say again, and then, I can say this for my friend Demetra, as educated as she is and all the things that she did, she didn't have this bullshit, unrealistic pride in regards to, I'm too good to work this job or work that job. She was out there getting it. I mean, doing what she had to do. If more of us would have an attitude like that and stop faking ladies, stop faking it and start making it, maybe we would get there.
Well, like I say, I get it. But there are some people like in their neighborhood that didn't have a bonnet on. They just poor. It took me so long to figure out that some of these people they just stuck. They just poor. And they really want to do something, but it's not there. And I would ask anybody, I don't want to play devil's advocate. When the last time one of y'all worked for $7.25 hours? I'm not doing a motherfucking thing for $7.
And you know what?
Nothing.
And I don't think that anybody should do anything for $7.25 an hour. But like Walter said, if you working for $7.25 an hour and you got 16 more hours, are you with that 16 hours bringing your ass home, sitting on the couch, watching cable that you probably can't afford to pay for when you could be trying to get a hustle on, starting a business? I mean, trust me, I've been there. When my daughter's father, I came home one day and my daughter's father had moved everything we had out of that apartment. I went and got 3 fucking jobs, and got on my feet and got us on my own place. And I've never been without a home since. So the point that I'm making is, like Walter said, we can make excuses or we can make money, but you can't do both. I mean, it's like, because I get it. There's some people who are on a fixed income. We ain't talking about those people. We're not talking about those people. But when I think about Black Wall Street and I think about O.W. Gurley, he moved to Oklahoma and he helped other people. And so if the people who are able and have a little bit of money would start businesses, then we can hire our own people. Then we can help our own people. But as long as we keep making excuses, because the government ain't going to help us. The Republicans, Democrats, none of them are going to help Black people. We are all we have. And the moment we start to say to each other, I hear what you're saying, but it's an excuse. What are you willing to, like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
I want it bad enough to educate myself and clearly understand that the people that want the economy open, they need it open, and they need people working at $7.25 an hour. They don't want to. If this shit that showed you anything, that they should be paying you more money. And if we sit tight, you may end up getting more money. But the game is, fuck them. They need to come back to work. They need to come back right now, cut their unemployment off, and you're going to take this $7.25 an hour. But the only thing I can tell people is when you think about it, and I may be going totally against the grain tonight, that you know, Walter wants to buy the property. Is Walter going to buy the property in the hood and then raise the prices on it so the poor people can't live there no more? I'm just asking because this is what that's their reality. No, that's their reality every day.
Every day. And here's the thing, Black people.
Say that again.
You're going to go in and buy something. That's why the Black banks are out of business now, because trying to give the homie hookup. We have to treat money evenly as people. I buy a property, I'm raising it to the standard rent. I'm not giving people a break because they're Black. We need to step up to the plate and be adults. That's the reason Black people are so damn poor right now.
The United States of America needs to figure out a way to close the goddamn wealth gap. Because until they close that goddamn wealth gap, we are not going to be able to do some of these things as much as we want to. You know, us three are very fortunate sitting up here because we can kind of do what we want to do, you know, financially. But it out there in the world that I got to go in with them people, you know, some of them, they want to, they just don't have the means to do it. Because anything extra that they have may be going to child care. You see what I'm saying? Child care is through the roof. You know, I'm just throwing out different scenarios tonight.
No, I hear what you're saying, and your points are valid, but it don't make them real. And here's what I mean by that. If you have child care issues, that is your issue. The world does not care. And we're asking the United States of America, the people that created the wealth gap, to fix it. Like, I come home and I slap my wife, and then I turn around and hug her. Like she gonna be looking at me funny every time I walk in the house. That's the way we ought to be looking at this, at the country. They created the wealth gap on paper. And when the wealth gap got too close, they dropped bombs, they started shooting, dropping incendiaries from airplanes, and they brought in the whites from the surrounding neighborhoods to destroy 50 black powerful financial communities. So these people aren't.
So are they doing that right now?
Hell yes.
Are they doing that right now?
They're doing it differently though, because now
So why,
we're
if
doing
they're
it.
doing that, if they're doing that right now, then why in the hell would a poor black person even want to own a business?
No. I'm saying we are doing it now. The work is done. Now we are doing it to ourselves now. Because like there's too many black people. Like there's too many of us now. But we are so, it's like if you put a flea in this cup and I hold my hand here, sooner or later he gonna try to jump, and I move my hand, he ain't gonna jump. That's black people right now. It takes me longer to do business with our people because they're so damn stuck in their, I mean, like, you guys, the game is up. Like I joked about slavery last night, but man, I'm telling you. And the crazy part is, it's not complicated. If you're in the hood and you're making $7 an hour and you have no bills, no debt, you're in a better position than most people to make it. You know why? Because you don't have debts. You don't have bills. I've been in businesses. I trust and believe. I've been millions of dollars in debt from my old businesses. So I look at a homeless dude and go, dude, you got more money than me. I'd rather be in your position knowing what I know. I can tell you right now, put me in the hood at $7 an hour and watch me get my black ass out of there. Because it's all your attitude. It's like, hey man, you make $725, the three of us do. Why don't we move into a house together and we pay $800, we each pay $200, and then we all buy these cars and flip them. Now we pay $200 and we got a car and a place to live.
Let's try something. Let's try something because I want to challenge you.
Please.
I want to do a real live reality show. Why don't me and you just call it Taking It Back to the Hood, and we take our black ass to the hood, go find us some $25 hour jobs, and let's show these people how to do it.
I'll make it even better.
You gonna start with no money. Nothing.
We'll make it even better. I don't want a job. Don't pay me nothing. I don't need a salary. Just drop me off somewhere with $10 in my pocket. And watch by the end of the night, I have $200. It's not complicated. It's like this. I'm going to tell you what to do. Like wherever you are, right? You in the hood and your shit is a wreck. And you see a woman getting in her car. Hey, miss, do you mind if I open your door? Can I clean your windows? I lost my job. I'm trying to get on my feet. Do you mind? I realize that you go to work at 8. Can I wash your car? Can I start it up and keep it warm for you so you get into a warm car every day? Is there something I can do? Can I take out your trash? Can I clean the outside of your windows? Can I cut your grass? I noticed that your dog is unruly. Can I walk him for you? You can do that for all the neighbors. You can do that and be on your feet. I'm telling you, so many people have left the hood. If you live in the hood, you have a better chance.
You definitely ain't talking about the hood that I want us to move to, because you ain't finna walk no dog in the hood we gonna go to. Well, ain't no dog walking trails around there. Ain't nobody finna open their door for you.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to stay in the hood. I'm talking like if you're in the hood, do they stop you from leaving the hood? Can you get on a bus? Can you walk to a nice neighborhood? I heard Chicago is not that big till you can't catch a bus to the other side of town. What is it, $1, $2? For a while during the pandemic, the bus was free. Like, where are these people at? Like, all I'm saying is there's a will, there's a way. There's no reason under the sun, unless you have a mental disability or physical illness that you can't, or something's wrong with you physically, that you can't make moves. I'm telling you, on my corner by my house, there's a Mexican dude who got a taco truck, and it was that raggedy old truck. And he got a B210 from 78. You know, I'm talking about the Datsun B210, like the Dre and Snoop battle where they was talking about, remember when you used to have a B210? That is what I saw, and I bought tacos from him. You know what he's got now? He's got a newer car. He's got a new truck. He was out there every day, cold, heat, I don't care what it was. He was out there every day making with the tacos. And you know, you drive by there now, there's 10, 15 people in line at his taco shop. And you know what he did? He went to the gas station owner and they did a profit sharing. So when he sells a taco, the gas station owner gets a check. The guy that washes my car, they do a profit share. Every time he washes the car, the gas station guy gets a check. They don't make money selling gas, you guys. They make money selling snacks and condiments and things. There's no money in gas for them.
And let me just say this, and I've given this book out. I'll try to find it if y'all want it. Y'all gonna have to hit me up for it, though. It's called The Secret to Oriental Wealth, Secret to Oriental Inner Wealth, or something like that. But anyway, in this book, they talk about how, I sent it to Walter, and Walter sent it to a bunch of people. In this book, it's talk about Asians, how they, let's say buy a big giant bag of rice, right? And then they do certain things with it, but the point that I'm really making with that is I know a lot of people in the hood get a copious amount of money on their food stamp card. Facts or not facts? Yes, they get it. So I'm saying, because I know a lot of other communities do it, they get some of that money and they make plates and they sell it and they flip it over. They don't go off and buy a bunch of Zuzus and Wham Whams and a bunch of salt and sugar and, food that's going to be gone in 2 weeks. They actually use the food stamps and they make a profit off of that. Now, is it legal? No, but who going to know? Who going to even know they doing that? So the point that I'm making is, and Walter made an excellent point. I don't care. He made an excellent point. I'm living in wherever I'm living. I got Section 8. The rent is very low. I'm getting food stamps. My medical is paid for. I know people who are getting all of those things. They got cable. They got everything you can think of in that Section 8 apartment. And there's people who go to work 40 hours a week and can't afford to do that. So, like I said, I know there's some people who just have a fixed income and they can't do it. But what's really fixed is a lot of our minds. A lot of our minds are fixed that I can't do this. Well, the system is against me, and it is. The system is against us. But to your point, Gary, Christmas, who is the largest consumer? Who is spending the most money out there? It's Black people. Black people spend the most money on everything you can think of in America. But yet we are at the bottom of the totem pole financially. We are the brokest people in the United States. But on Christmas or every holiday, we find some money to bring home a bunch of bullshit to the kids. And then come January 1st, I don't know what I'm going to do. We ain't got no money, but your kids got the latest everything. And again, I'm not speaking from an elitist point of view because I haven't always had $2 or 2 nickels to rub together either. But when I didn't have it, I damn sure didn't go trick it off at the goddamn store so my daughter can have a moment of happiness and then try to figure out how the fuck I'm going to pay the rent. So it's excuses at this point.
Yeah. And let me address this comment before I leave the screen. Or just left. My brother Rick Hatter. I tell you what, Rick, I would buy tacos from a Black man. Like I said, a lot of y'all don't know me. My sister tell you I grew up in the hood. We had a business on South Central in Normandy, Florence and Normandy. So some people say, oh, Walter, he ain't never been in the hood. Don't let the suit fool you. My boys will tell you last night, man, I've been through some shit I should have been dead for, period. So and not that I have to be near-death experience to be a real Black dude. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. But will I buy tacos from a Black man? I would if I can find his ass. Because we used to walk up the street and go to OB's and buy hamburgers from the Black dude. Now it's Chinese dudes. The problem with Black people is we use this excuse, period. We talk. I just told people how to retire in 12 months. We got people singing songs about other shit. Are you serious? Man, come on now. And I'm telling you a real story. I had my hair cut twice in the last 48 hours. I went to my boy down the street. It's a Black barbershop. He's my boy. He moved. He don't cut my hair. He got another brother cutting it. I said, dude, last time he cut my hair, it wasn't lined up. Even my girl was talking shit. I go in there yesterday, 2 days ago, dude, here's what I want. Showed him a picture. I look in the mirror. I get home. The shit ain't edged up. The next day, I go next door to my Mexican homie. He's mixed Black and Mexican. He lines me up. He goes, dude, you look like you got your hair cut. I said, I did, but my brother fucked it up. So I gave him a shot though, right? The t-shirt business I gave a brother $600 to help me start my t-shirt business. Some shit I already knew how to do, but I was giving a Black man a chance. Then he hit me with the nigga shit. Oh man, we Black people, we gotta work together. No, we don't have to do shit together. We don't gotta do shit together because we Black. We need to save our money because we Black. Stop thinking as a color when it comes to money. Money has two colors, green, white, maybe a little black outline. And black people, let's be honest, you don't give a fuck about yourself because we wouldn't be having this conversation. Like, seriously? Right now where I'm at, it is 6 o'clock. When I get off this podcast, see that shit over there? I got files. I got shit to do. What the fuck are you doing when the show is over? Miss me with that shit. I don't care if you're making $3 an hour. When black people say we can do it, we're going to do better. Otherwise, we ain't going to have a goddamn thing. And you guys, they are coming for us. We are fucked
Well,
right now.
let me ask you a question because I don't want to get this confused. Donovan, what you got for Christmas? Last Christmas?
Nothing. I don't really
Name
celebrate.
something you got for Christmas.
Long time ago when I was a kid, ColecoVision. I don't know.
What did you give out for Christmas?
Oh man, I gained a gang of stuff.
Did you buy any gifts?
Oh, a gang of gifts. I can't even remember the
Okay.
amount, but I must
Stop right
have
there.
spent at least about $5,000.
Walter, how much? What did you give out for Christmas? Did you give out a
Ask
few
my
gifts?
sister what she got for Christmas. Ask my niece what she got for Christmas from me. Ask my nieces and nephews what they got for Christmas. The only person I bought something for, I bought my girlfriend something really small. And my kids, I gave them all cash. I said, fuck that. I'm not going to stand in line on the 24th and buy something for $20. That's going to be $6 on the 26th. You can kiss my ass and you can hate me if you want to, but I would rather you take that money and
me.
buy
I
two.
listen. I listen.
I ain't
Listen
buying
to
shit
me, bro.
for Christmas.
I listen to you, so I can't buy into half of what I can't buy into half of what you tell.
I ain't buying shit.
Let me tell you what a motherfucker got for me from Christmas. They watching right now. They ain't get a motherfucking thing from me because you told me don't fuck my money off. It ain't a motherfucker breathing that can say they got something for me. Nothing. Valentine's Day, you keep your pussy, shorty, because I ain't got nothing for you. Mother's Day, nobody got a motherfucking thing for me. Now, what I want from you is you tell me, is this the way to do it, or is that the way to do it?
The
Because
way you
I'm gonna
just
tell you
said,
something, man. Being poor in 2002, being poor in 2021, because I walked them streets that you named, Crenshaw and all that, but that's a different kind of poor in 2021 compared to 1990.
oh, it's not poor no more. This shit is not poor. My uncle lives in the hood. His house is worth almost $800,000. His shit is paid off. I told him, man, we can sell this shit and buy houses all over the world. So it's not poor anymore.
Okay,
but it used to be.
I'm getting confused because we're supposed to acquire land. We're supposed to pass it down generationally. But then I hear you say, well, what you holding the land for? If your people left you some land, you need to sell it. Hold on. Which one we need to do? Because really, I'm fucking over everybody. If y'all buying gifts for Christmas, if y'all getting something for Christmas, everybody hate my fucking guts right now because I didn't buy them shit.
Yeah. They shouldn't get nothing. They should get information. I bought my kids books one year and everybody laughed. I remember I bought them the books, Cash Flow Quadrant with the Red Bull. Everybody laughed.
Four Agreements. I got it back here. You bought me the 4 Agreements, a book.
Mm-hmm. So those are the kind of gifts I like to give. Buy land, and then if you guys have land, do something with it. And black people, we own a lot of land. We do. But the problem is we're not doing nothing with it. I sat on the phone with a lady, and her and her husband argued for an hour and 15 minutes about the shit they did to each other. I said, yo, you have the former financial planner to Kanye West, the Patriots, celebrities. I can go all day naming people that I've helped that you see on TV all the time, and you gonna argue amongst each other with me on the phone? I told her, lose my number. I'd rather go do something. Man, I could be butt naked eating an ice cream cone than dealing with this shit. And I would have more fun doing it. When you get to that point, then you'll do better. I don't care how much money you make. If you're making okay, here it is. You're making $7.25 an hour. How much is that? How much do you bring home a week? $250? $220? Because if you're making $7, you're not paying tax. You can file exempt. If you're only making $7, you can file exempt. You know what I'm saying? And with COVID and all this shit, you probably get a credit. So you file an exempt. Social Security is 8%. You know what I'm saying? 7 plus you pay the Medicare tax or whatever. So you're paying like 8%. And you got some state tax and disability, whoop-de-whoop. So you walking out of there with $250. That's $1,000 in your pocket, right? D, can I rent a room in Houston for $400 a month?
I would think so.
Yes, because you can buy a house on your block for $600.
No.
A room.
Nah, I want to rock with you. I want to rock with you,
A
homie.
room.
But say, man. All right.
You said a room.
Can you rent a room? Because in California, you can rent a room for $600.
You making $7.25 an hour when you got kids and you gonna go rent a room?
Okay.
If you make a $7.25 an hour and you got kids, you getting food stamps, you getting Medi-Cal, you probably getting a little bit of money. I mean, come on now, let's. This is where.
And you also have, and if you're getting $7.25 an hour, you're not on full benefits as far as getting this Section 8. They're gonna put you in a low income. You're gonna pay some type of rent.
You're paying full.
You're gonna pay these utilities, and you're gonna pay your gas money to get you back and forth to work.
You know what that's called? It's called life. Why should you be special? Why should you be special to be crying about making $7.25 an hour? Why are you special? That's life. That's what happens when you make whatever decision you make and shit. You ain't special because you making $7.25 an hour. And if you don't like it, then do something about it. It's that simple. Like nobody, I get it. I've been in that situation before. I was a young mom trying to figure it out. So I'm not speaking from a point of no experience. I know all about that. But the point that I'm making is like at some point in time, we as Black people have got to leave off the excuses. We have to. Because a lot of those people you talking about, Gary, they be dressed to the nines. And hell, I'm preaching to the choir. Go to your local park on the 4th of July. A holiday ain't got shit to do with Black people. You're going to see us dressed to kill. Everybody going to be matching Jordans, matching shirts and shorts. We going to have it all. We going to have the red, white, and blue fingernails. We going to have all of that going on. So we got to stop making excuses. Like, I sympathize with a lot of people. And trust me, I don't always talk about what I do, but I give a lot of money away to people who need it. So I get it. But at some point in time, we got to say, you're going to give a man a fish. Because what happens when you give a man a fish? He eats for a day. But if you teach him, which is what Walter's trying to do, how to fish, then he eats for a lifetime because he can feed himself. But we no justice by saying, well, I get it, because we know the systemic and institutional racism. That's probably not going to change by the time we leave here. It's not. But we control the money that we get. We make $1.3 trillion a year as Black people every year. But we give 97% of that away. They said if we would just save 10% of that, we could start a whole bunch of, just 10%. We can start a bunch of businesses that will hire Black people, and we can dig ourselves out of being where we are, but we won't do it. So I get tired of hearing the excuses. You can do what you will. Marcus Garvey told us that. Up, you mighty nation, accomplish what you will. Elijah Muhammad been telling us that when he was here. Do for self. Everybody's been saying that, but for some reason, that message just keeps going over our head. And so I get it, but then I don't.
Yeah. And you guys, somebody said it's not that simple. That's hogwash. It is simple. It is simple. Getting out of, if you're in the ghetto, you have nothing, you have a better chance of being wealthy than somebody that has debt, responsibilities, parents they gotta please, and I gotta go to this school and do this shit for them. They don't have none of that. I'm telling, it is simple. And if you make $725 and you bring home $1,000 a month, you can pay $400 a month for a room, get you a key. Even if you bought a car from Paco's Tacos, your car payment would be $150. That would leave you $550. That would still leave you. What would that leave you? You still have $400 or $500 left. Like, I'm not saying that's going to be a phenomenal life, but you guys, I've done that. I was a financial planner with American Express, and my pay was $6 an hour as a financial planner. That was my wage. My first year as a financial planner, my net income was $13,000. I had 4 kids. So I got to work at 7 and I worked till 6 o'clock, and I picked up my kids and my minivan and we delivered pizzas till midnight. Me and the kids in a suit, I delivered pizzas. And my kids were like, woo! When I got home, they were ready to go. People be like, what the hell? I'm like, yo, I'm doing what I got to do. I'm not one of those niggas that's going to be complaining about my circumstance. I'm just going to come home. I'm going to do a couple things, get the kids in the car. We're going to go get this money. That's it. And then your kids are riding in the car seeing you get this money. Then you got their ear. You can talk to them. All that stuff. I don't care how poor you are. And when we agree on this, the race is going to do better. And if you're in New York, get the fuck out and go down south to Florida, Jacksonville, or to Pensacola, or somewhere where it's cheaper. Do you guys realize one of the guys that helped start Black Wall Street walked from Memphis to Tulsa? Walked! Like, what the fuck? You guys have buses and airplanes. These black people walked to different, like, I'm talking to difference. Like, today I'm walking to another city. Listen, you guys, I've been the brokest ever. My sister I slept not that long ago. I was on her couch. 2009, I was sleeping on her couch. Period. So ain't nothing more degrading than sleeping on your sister's couch. Right? And so it's not that cheap in Pensacola, then move to Alabama, wherever it is. So you guys, one thing you'll notice about me, I don't do excuses. I don't care. If it ain't that cheap in Pensacola, move somewhere else. Move. Go with the flow. When you get rid of all the excuses, your life will improve. I don't care what it is. You got 6 kids, you making $725, put their ass to work. You selling flowers, little man. Your job is to go pick flowers from the neighborhood. Your job is to bind them up, wrap them in plastic, and your job is to sell them.
Oh no, they can't do that. He's my king. He can't be doing out there being like that, No, no. He can sit up and play PlayStation all day. I'll do everything and give him everything. Don't worry about it, and then I'm gonna complain.
What's the difference between me and somebody in the hood, in the ghetto? What's the difference?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. I seen some shit growing up between my parents that my sister don't even know. That I would never tell people to this day the shit I witnessed between my 2 parents. Some of y'all use your parents as an excuse. Like, seriously, if I told you some of the shit I saw between my 2 parents, it would fuck you up. Some of y'all bitches, my parents work too much. Shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, my father woke up, my father was never home.
Well, let me ask you a question. I don't know, but I'll represent the people that live fucked up lives. Say, have you ever come home from school and found your mama hanging from the ceiling fan?
Nope, but she was close. I've been there. Well, maybe if I wouldn't have got there, she would have been hanging from the ceiling fan, or she would have been bleeding on the floor.
I'm asking you a realistic question. Have you ever come home and found your mom hanging from the ceiling fan?
No,
did you leave and go to school that morning and you come home and both your...
Okay, but what's that got to do with
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop up off here. Hey, I'm gonna go. I'm gone, y'all. I'm out. Y'all got it.
It's a good question. Come on back, Gary. It's a good question, though.
No, it's a realistic question.
But it happens.
It's a realistic question. And my thing is I live in a different reality. I deal with people that live in a different reality.
Let me say something.
So this is kind of like a conversation that's above my head. I mean, I'm gonna go to Cracker Barrel and get me something to eat. I'm gonna hang around these rich Indian motherfuckers from Oklahoma and see if I can come up down here with a dispensary.
Okay,
yeah, all the Indians, their relatives are dead.
Let me say this, because I get where you're going with that, Gary. Well, Walter, how long have you been on your own?
Since I was fucking 16 years old.
And why? Not to get into all the details, but why?
Because my parents were acting the fool. I moved out.
And it got really bad. So, I mean, I get where you're going with that, Gary, but I mean, you know, there's this movie that I watch. And you guys have probably seen it. It's called The Secret. And one guy was on there. He was like, people say, oh, my childhood was bad. And oh, this, that, and the other happened to me. And he says, so what? You ain't special. Everybody's got a story to tell. Yes, some people's story is worse than the others, but everybody got a story to tell. I mean, nobody's had unless I don't know, nobody's had a perfect childhood.
I'm looking at the comments too. Emotional, bro. Say, nigga, let me tell you something.
Well, I mean,
I walked in with somebody's mama hanging from a goddamn ceiling. Don't tell me about emotions. And the kid ain't trying to worry about no fucking wealth when they find their mama hanging from a ceiling.
So a good thing to do, and black people, when we can deal with this shit right here, we'll be unstoppable. Let's assume
it ain't that easy to deal with, bruh.
It's not. It ain't easy. It ain't supposed to be. But so what do? Do you stop? What do you do then? You just don't move? Like, trust me, I get it. I know people that have been through that stuff, but as sooner or later, you gotta go. And it's all there is to it.
Alan, you say, have you ever seen someone's mama strung out on dope? I know somebody very personally close to me who had a 22-year bout with crack cocaine. So again, y'all ain't special. Y'all acting like because people sitting up here and they got their shit together that they ain't came from, some real stuff. Somebody really close to me. I'm not going to say who it is.
Well, no, fuck it. I'll say it. I was 18 years old. Me and my boys were getting ready to get in the car. And my stepmother called me and was like, you need to talk to your father. The $500 you sent him to buy the engine for the Cadillac Seville that has been sitting in front of your fucking house for a year, that you keep sending your father money for to fix. Every time you send him money, he smoke it. Ain't no money for your car. That Cadillac Seville sat in front of my house. I know it was till. I was so excited about driving this car. I was sending my father money and he was smoking it. She called me one day, was like, your father has been doing crack cocaine. I am leaving. I'm just calling you because I care about you guys. I am leaving. I sent my father money for years, dealing with crack cocaine, hearing about him on the side of the freeway, doing windows and shit, taking him food, cleaning his house, dealing with all that shit. To having a conversation with my pops, I didn't want to have. Like, yo, pops, you got to choose either the crack or the kids. Pick one. That's it. So people, y'all miss me with that shit. Like, until you have to wire your father money for his crack habit, y'all can kiss my ass. Like, I got a lot of reasons why I can sit here and complain about, oh, how come I ain't this? Like my little brother, who I kick it with, his mom, his father ain't my father. You want to know how they met? He was painting my house and my father was at work. That's how I got a little brother. My stepbrother came, he was the affair. So don't miss me. Every time I see my brother, I reminded that my mom was a cheater. Miss me with all that bullshit. And I can go on and on and on. I got stories I can tell you, be like, oh, fuck this shit. I can never deal with that. But those stories make me stronger. Oh, and by the way, my father's girlfriend was a crackhead. Because you know what we call her? Strawberry. I don't call her that. My sister Monda calls her Strawberry. I try and be a little bit nicer. But so miss me with all that shit. And I don't care what it was. I care. But black people, we ain't gonna never get ahead because that's the shit we do. We use our past. Like, we're still talking about slavery and reparations. They don't want to give us reparations. They don't care. You guys have the president you wanted. He has not done a goddamn thing. Not only has he not done a goddamn thing, he smiles and he jokes about it. You know what Joe Biden's doing tonight? Worried about Israel and Russia and Belarus. That's what he's doing right now. Ask him what he's doing about black crime. And we had a George Floyd crime bill? The fuck is that? Do we really need a bill to say don't kill black people? You gotta stop falling for that shit. You know what would happen? White supremacy, all that shit would disappear. It would all disappear. You have your money stacked and you got weapons. I can go upstairs right now. I got a 9mm in my closet. I wish a nigga would walk into my house. You know what I'm saying? And I got the money to hire the lawyer to say he walked into my house, his peck ass, whatever you want to call him, was drunk, and I shot him. And I need a lawyer. Period. When we get to that point, all that other stuff will disappear. I don't care what it is. You guys, I watched my grandfather shrink on a metal bedpan in front of his house. Shrink to next to nothing. My cousin Kay was here last week. She goes, I need to talk to you about some shit that happened in 1980s. Like, so you guys, there's no excuse. I don't care. If your parents were murdered in front of you, that fucking sucks. But what do you do about it? Honor their legacy by bitching about it still? Like, if we want to complain, like, you guys, this is tough. I don't know what to tell you. Because when we hang up from here, the world is going to continue. And the bankers and your politicians, they're having dinner. They're, how does that go? Yo, Joe Biden, stand up. Tell them how you got the niggas to vote for you and you didn't have to give them shit. Like, that's what they're doing. They don't care about us. We have to care about us. When I hit this leave studio button tonight from StreamYard, I'm taking my ass over there and I'm going to finish my accounting for the year, do my taxes. I'm going to take my ass over there and make something to eat. And I'm going to go upstairs and work on my clothing line. And then I'm going to take a couple phone calls from my members. That's it. And then you guys, there's no such thing as not being able to do it. And once again, here we go. We have left the subject of wealth. I don't really give a fuck about all this stuff. What happened to you as a kid is not my concern. I'm the money dude. I care about money and my family. I don't care about anything else. I'll tell you. Like, people call me, yo, I got an incoming phone call. Is this about income? Or is this about outgo? That's it. And when you get to that point and you realize people, some of you guys, your own ministers do not care about you. If you stop putting money in the bucket, they won't even say your name. And when you get to-
let me say this, because I see in everybody, like I said, clearly in this looking at the comment section, everybody's got a story to tell. Like, what is this? The struggle Olympics? We've all got a story to tell. But does that story define you for the rest of your life? Or do you say that was horrible? Let me move on and get to therapy, whatever I need to do to get past that so I can be better than the atmosphere I left. I mean, like, at what point do we just let go of the things that, like, a lot of those things we had no control over what our parents did? We just got stuck, right? But we have a choice to either stay in that state of mind or move on. Yes, everybody's got trauma. Everybody, like, some are worse than others. But what do you do? Like, why are we competing? And like Walter say, every night that he comes on here to talk about money, it gets hijacked by nigga shit. It's just like amazing to me. If I was Walter, I wouldn't even come back on here because I can call Walter. Walter has been financially advising me since I was 24 years old. I'm 50 now. So I've been better off because of it. But I mean, like, I don't know what else to do. And this is why I said the other night that I got really frustrated because we don't want better. Some of us do on an individual level, but collectively we don't want better. We like where we're at. We like the excuses. We want to play the struggle Olympics, see who's going to have the worst horror story. But it's like, yeah, but like, at what point in time do we say, okay, where is the money at? Because there is no black power without green dollars. Period. It's all a fantasy.
Well, let me ask you this though, real quick. And me being raised overseas, thank God I was raised, overseas. That was my situation, whatever, being a military kid. But, I saw how people in other countries live that were way less and less opportunities than we actually have here in the United States. Think about these people who risk their lives coming over here, breaking our laws, doing whatever they got to do, right? leaving everything behind just to get an opportunity to work and take advantage of what we have here. So my question is this: we talk about money. Here we are, born and raised right here in the United States with all of these programs that, yeah, we know they're redlined and stuff like that. But these other people come here from wherever they come here, and they thrive with little or nothing in their pockets. And we know a lot of that is based on white supremacy and all that other stuff. But the premise is this, though. We're born here, we're raised here. We know these programs exist, and yet we don't take advantage of them. And then we are in a perpetual state of denial. Like, oh, my mom died, or what does your mom's death have to do? And I know it could be an emotional toll, but it has to do with you being the best person that you're going to be. Now, I understand you be put in certain situations and like that, but I remember my mom told me after my father passed, my father's death has no bearing on me stopping doing what I'm supposed to do to be a contributory young man in society. And she said that if she died, that still is no excuse for me not to finish my education and do what I have to do. So we know everybody's got a situation, but how tied are we to our parents? Because one day our parents have to leave this earth. And God forbid, I want my mom to leave before me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So to sit there when my mom's time comes, and I don't think it's going to come anytime soon, but when it comes, I'm not going to be crying about it or anything like that, because she gave me all the tools that I needed to survive. But my question is, when it comes to this money, is how do all these other people come here with no excuses, no background, leaving all of their wealth and stuff behind? Even some of them, parents have been killed in some of these countries. They come here and they do so well. And a lot of these people that are coming here have black skin just like us.
There's like 6 Indians in my city. 6. How many of you know an Indian? Like, Indian. Seriously. I don't know any Indians personally. Maybe a couple. Like, we as black people, there's nobody like us. Nobody with our strength, our mental. Think about this for a second. We have been through slavery, all kinds of stuff. But here's the one thing we have not been, is exterminated completely or close to extermination. You guys, I heard Chris Rock say, how many Indians do you ever see? Like, seriously. Like, you guys, and I don't want to compare us to the Jews because I don't know enough about them. I don't. And the shit that the Jews went through, black people probably went through way worse. I promise you. But like, why is it that the Jews have all this fucking money? Why? Right now, I guarantee you the dude that owns started StreamYard is probably Jewish. If I turn on my TV, all the credits are Jewish. All the nigga shows y'all like to watch, the Housewives of Atlanta, Jews run that shit. It's corn in them on the credits. Like, period. Why is Tyler Perry so fucking special? Why is it that because he's a black studio owner, he's special? Right now, like, what's wrong with us having our own stuff? We're still alive, you guys, and we can move. But like, I enjoy talking about building wealth. I told you guys what to do, how to build your wealth, the first 10 minutes of the show. Because I'm doing it. Yesterday, I put on Facebook, Carnival Cruise Lines got the okay and Norwegian to cruise out of Miami. And I put it on Facebook. I put it on there. And I sent a bunch of text messages and emails to people. It's not a recommendation. Here's what I'm doing. Told people same thing about Space, same thing about JP Morgan and Home Depot. And every time I send everybody a text message and I put it on Facebook. You know who does it? And I hate to say this shit, but I'm going to say it. You can send me negative comment, email, do what you're going to do. When I send out a message on Facebook, most of the people that text me back and say, yo, man, how do I do it? Here's a check. White people. My brothers and sisters, I spend most of my time talking to you. I don't do this show on I don't do podcasts for white people, not at the moment. I spend most of my time talking to black people. And they're my longest conversations. I tell you, buy Carnival Cruise, 75 cents. You can buy an option, the one that I gave you, right? The $50 call option out to January 5th, 75 fucking cents. For $75, you can control 100 options of Carnival Cruise. Do you think they're going to be cruising in January? Do you realize that January is cruise season for the Bahamas? Like in the winter up here, it's cruise season down there. Like Miami is open. It was on CNBC. Norwegian, Delta Airlines, United, all the airlines, you guys, the travel stocks that are way behind are picking up steam. And you still right now have time to go buy Carnival Cruise Line stock options. And Norwegian Cruise Line, and Delta, and United, and Southwest. You can go buy those reopened stocks. But you won't, because we want to talk about the shit that happened to us. No one gives a fuck what happened to you. I don't care what it is, because I've had shit happen to me. My mom passed away as I was starting this company that you see on the screen. My mom passed away as I was starting it. Like, so I get it to deal with loss. You know what I'm saying? And my mom was my first client, my best. When I started the business, she was like, okay, oh shit, looks like we're going to Vegas. What a convention, how much do you need? What's the cost to join? You know what I'm saying? So like, we can do that. But you guys, as long as you complain about your situation, it's going to be a wrap. And let me tell you this. I'm reading a comment. Somebody was calling them stupid. No help with compassion. Let me say this. When it comes to compassion, and I'm going to tell you who I really am. I don't give a fuck about compassion. Because how compassionate are we when we all spending money for Nikes? Kanye West, my old client, has a homeless clothing line that black people, spend $300 to wear a homeless shirt. I have zero compassion when it comes to this shit. I don't care what happened to you. I don't have compassion. Because when I had compassion, I was broke as fuck. When I was compassionate, I was sleeping on my sister's couch. And when she was compassionate, she was with the chick I met one night cleaning houses with, my friend Yasmin. Like the two of them cleaning houses. Cleaned my house one time. Like, whoa. So miss me with the compassion. Money doesn't have compassion. Do you get, man, there's some shit you can learn about money that will blow your mind. Like, look at the dollar bill. Almost every single person on it has slaves. Or one or two. But we still spending the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and y'all need to stop with this cancel shit. Like now here they fucking with Robert Downey Jr. because he played blackface in Tropic Thunder. First of all, that was a classic. Leave Robert alone. Sometimes we just gotta loosen up. Like, come on, you guys. Like, really? What else can we cancel? It's a diversion. Seriously. Like, we gotta have a thicker skin, you guys. We say shit about each other all the time. And I can sit here and say the honky on national television. I ain't gonna get no messages. Ain't nobody gonna call me. Because we have to have a thicker skin. We are this close to being extinct, black people. You think that I'm joking. You think that I'm kidding. Watch when interest rates go up and we can't even get into a house. Watch when all these programs that they're giving to black people disappear. They start going to the Asians, which they've already started. It's already starting, right? So when all these programs start going to other people, you guys, you know who we need to be pissed at? Our black so-called leaders. Why in the fuck do I only see Ben Crump when he's collecting a check? What's Ben Crump's house look like? Y'all not talking to that dude foul. Oh, you think Ben Crump has compassion? No, he has a bank account that accepts deposits and 30-40% of your check when your mama get killed in the streets by the police. You know, and let me ask you guys this. Who taught me about money? My father, number one. See, my father taught me about money, but in both ways. When he was addicted to drugs, he taught me about what not to do. When he was running his business, I saw what he was doing. I saw him do a service and put money in his pocket. I picked up on that. I read Think and Grow Rich. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The magic of thinking big. The 4 Agreements. The Slight Edge. I read all these books. Tony Robbins has a book, the beginning of it, Unshakable, some shit like that. I mean, there's so many books, but you guys, it's now on YouTube. And the best way, you know how I learned about money? Is losing it. Starting a lawnmower business and losing it. Doing a paper route and like getting tired of it. You know what I'm saying? by losing millions of dollars. I learned about money. By losing my house, I never been in foreclosure, but I short sold a house. I've been through it. That's how you learn, by going through it. Right now, I'm starting the clothing line. I'm ready to shut this motherfucker down because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of dealing with nigga shit, excuses, and everybody got an excuse of why it won't work. But yet Calvin Klein, I don't know what his beginnings was, but goddamn it, he got a clothing line. And so does P. Diddy and all these cats. You telling me your surroundings, P. Diddy shit, he grew up worse than you did? Like, come on, you guys. Like, I don't care what your excuse is. No, and I don't have compassion. I do not, because I can't take compassion to Chase Manhattan. I can't even take it to you guys. So stop calling people with compassion. Oh, shit. Like, and I didn't say black people haven't been exterminated. Y'all need to miss me with that shit. That's not what I said. I said I'm talking about the Indians. There are black people all over the place. Wherever we live, we can go out and see black people right now. Every fucking where. What I said was, how many Indians do you see? How many black people do you see in the Indian casino? That's the shit we'd be asking. Miss me with that shit. I got an answer for every fucking thing because I've been through it. I don't give a fuck what it is. And yes, I like to answer your question, Thunder. Yeah, Carnival Cruise Line is my shit. Is it going to blow up? I don't know. But what else am I doing with the money? Tricking it off? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Carnival may not do shit. I own a bunch of Bitcoin. I'm down on every single Bitcoin position. As of today, I'm negative on every single position. I haven't made a penny in Bitcoin. It goes up. I'm at a loss. I've never lost so much money so fast until I start buying cryptocurrency. I'm down on my Shiba Inu. I'm down on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. I'm down on every single one of my Bitcoin positions. But here's what I'll tell you. One day, one of those big cryptocurrencies is going to take off. So what I'm doing, you guys, here's financial shit. I'm buying a bunch of Bitcoin for pennies. Shiba Inu, I own like 50 million shares at like $400 or I don't know, 600, whatever the number is. I have 50 million shares. I need that stock. I need Shiba Inu to go to a penny. 1 penny, and I'll be worth $500,000. So I'm just buying a bunch of them, Donovan. And I saw it from your Facebook post. Buy Shiba. And I bought it the next 2 minutes. I went on and I bought it. From seeing your shit on Facebook, I bought it listening to you. So I'm like, damn.
Who was Donovan listening to?
I got it. I got it from Dimitri. Yeah, I got the word.
I mean, so like, you guys, I don't know if it's gonna work out, but like, doesn't it make sense to try? Like, just. And we got to do it quick, you guys. Our time is up. I'm telling you, as black people, our time is up. And you guys, by the way, and Donald Trump is on his way back. I'm going to tell you this. 2024, his ass is back. I promise you. And man, it's going to be wild and crazy these next few years because the Democrats are going to spend the rest of their time running against Trump, who isn't even announced his candidacy yet. They ain't gonna have time for us. They're trying to keep their jobs. So those of y'all waiting on the government, good luck with that, right? And yeah, Janelle, I believe you, God is with us. But if God was listening to this podcast, what would he say? Or she say? I really believe the God of the universe is a woman.
He would say, and this is why doves cry.
Yeah. Like, seriously. Like, man. I love waking up in the morning because at 6:30, I'm like, all right, the party's getting started. The stock market is open, the options, all this stuff. Now you can trade crypto around the clock. This is the stuff we should be talking about, right? I started the show by saying, let's buy some land. I see no comments about buying land or about how to get your credit score up 100 points if you're in the 5s and the 6s. And it breaks my heart because when I get off this podcast, I get a bunch of phone calls from clients. Oh, what about this, Walter? What's going on? What do we do with this? Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. D, I sent my sister a property in Conroe, Texas. Beautiful lake house. $300,000. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath on the lake with a giant spread, with a boat dock, everything. Sitting on the lake across from Margaritaville. 300 grand. We can rent that bitch out for $300 a night. Our mortgage payment will be $2,000 a month with everything. $1,200 on the mortgage, plus whatever y'all high-ass property taxes and homeowners insurance in Houston. I don't know what. Well, y'all need boats. Thank God we buying a house with a boat dock. But for $2,000, we can buy this house. I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna do it. We're gonna put up some money, put a down payment. You can buy a house with 3% down. That means me, her, and anybody involved need to come up with $9,000. We can buy this house. Even if the house is only worth $300 and it sells for $320, we come up with the 3% and we rent it out and we let them pay the mortgage. And then when it's not on Airbnb, Vukasa, or now Expedia's in the game, VRBO, when it's not on them, we take our black asses down there and we sitting, me, Donovan, and Gary, we sitting there barbecuing, we smoking cigars, sitting on our lake property and watching the whites go, what the fuck? Where these niggas come from? These niggas is coming for you. Like, seriously. When I show up to buy real estate, I had D in the car. And her and my niece, they were nervous as hell. White people looking, oh shit, listen, we coming for you. That's it. We coming to buy your shit. We coming to get our 40 acres back. And if more black people were doing what we were doing, this would be an easier process. You guys, a lake house for $2,000 a month that we can rent out and probably make $4,000 a month in our sleep and still have a place that we can go kick it. We can do Warzone parties on the lake. Imagine that, a Warzone barbecue in Conroe, Texas on the lake. And we jump in my boat and run over to Margaritaville and have drinks. And okay, I won't be driving because I'm going to be faded. But we come on back. What if we do tours where people can come to the crib, our lake house, and we take them to Margaritaville, we take them to do shit, and we charge them for the experience? Those are the conversations I want to have. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about this other shit. I don't care, honestly. I have 6 kids, 4 grandkids, an ex-wife, a new wife coming up. That's like shit. I got real shit to worry about. Right?
I think that's a wrap on that because my head is throbbing. I'm tired of shit.
Yeah, so there it is, you guys. If you're serious, let's roll. Let's get this money. I love talking about money. There's nothing else I like to talk about more besides money and baby oil. That's it. I'm just saying. It's cheaper. That's my closing comment.
Well, this is why we do what we do. Like I said, I tell people all the time, if you worry about getting the bag, this is the best day to watch the Warzone. Walter comes on from Cornucopia, and we thank him for giving us this knowledge because as Walter is kind of like me, I believe time is money and money is time, and it's interchangeable. So depending on what you think we need to do. But as Black people, again, I know, a lot of things happen in our neighborhoods and things of that nature. But if you live in a neighborhood where this kind of stuff is going on and there's trash out in the streets and there's just lawlessness going on, that's a resume of the representative that you keep electing into that office. I'm not saying it's just their fault, but what I'm saying is, when we were coming up with the rap game, it was talking about getting out of the hood and doing better for yourself. But now we know, I think Dr. Boyce Watkins said about it. I don't know who this new rapper kid is, but he says that he keeps the kids voting and on weed and something like that and, makes them vote stupid. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to start changing. We need to start directing our money because there is a lot of money in the Black community, but where do we spend it? And that's the question that we need to ask ourselves and start redirecting that, because I don't know about you guys, the 5-star says it all the time. We as a people are addicted to poverty. Not all of us, but a lot of us.
And my final comments are going to be Jonelle. He says, Don't be broke. Hustle hard. Be fruitful and multiply and get off your behind and get your grind. The end.
My answer to you, whoever, can I talk about a margin account? DM me. You can hit me up, or you can go to cornucopia.com/register. You can call me right now and I'll tell you how to open it. So the answer is yes.
I don't know if we're gonna get any closing music, but do. All right, y'all.
Drop the beat, Barry.
My closing thoughts is it's better to have money and not need it than to need it and not have it.
For sure.
I'm coming to the hood. I'm gonna do something I ain't never did in my life when I show up on the 13th. I'm giving you clothes. I'm gonna give you food. And I feel like that's the strip club. I'm gonna make it motherfucking rain. From me to y'all. Holla at you.